Select the one sentence that best meets the requirements of standard written English. Taking a look at our choices, we can see that the text is identical in each one, with the only difference being punctuation choice. With that in mind, let's take a look at each option to determine the best way to punctuate this sentence. A. As the government takes stock during the aftermath of the recent health crisis, comma, a few things should be apparent, comma, hospital waiting times need to be reduced, comma, more vaccines should be readily available, comma, and public awareness of health issues is severely lacking. Here, we see an introduction to a list and the list itself. The introduction is, a few things should be apparent. Following this phrase, we see the list of things that should be apparent. Hospital waiting times need to be reduced, more vaccines should be readily available, etc. However, we see that this list is introduced with a comma. A comma isn't strong enough to introduce a list. We could introduce it with a colon or even a period and start a new sentence, although that doesn't flow as well. Regardless, a comma isn't sufficient here and we can mark this choice as incorrect. B. As the government takes stock during the aftermath of the recent health crisis, comma, a few things should be apparent, semicolon. Hospital waiting times need to be reduced, comma, more vaccines should be readily available, comma, and public awareness of health issues is severely lacking. This choice introduces the list with a semicolon. A semicolon's main job is to separate two independent clauses. However, here we don't find two independent clauses. We find an independent clause and a list. As a semicolon wouldn't be appropriate here, we can mark this choice as incorrect. C. As the government takes stock during an aftermath of the recent health crisis, comma, a few things should be apparent, colon. Hospital waiting times need to be reduced, semicolon, more vaccines should be readily available, semicolon, and public awareness of health issues is severely lacking. Here we see a colon being used to introduce the list. As this is one of the jobs of a colon, as well as introducing text or adding emphasis, we can see that this would make an appropriate punctuation choice. We also see that each item on our list is separated by a semicolon. While this isn't strictly necessary, it also isn't considered incorrect. Items on lists should be separated by semicolons when the items include commas themselves. For example, I've been to Copenhagen, Denmark, Dublin, Ireland, and Rome, Italy. In our sentence, the list items themselves don't include commas, but the sentence before the colon does. So some might choose to stylize the list in this way to ensure clarity. So while they're not necessary, they aren't incorrect. As everything is in order with this choice, it's likely our answer, but we can check out choice D just to be sure. D. As the government takes stock during the aftermath of the recent health crisis, comma, a few things should be apparent, hyphen. Hospital waiting times need to be reduced, hyphen, more vaccines should be readily available, hyphen, and public awareness of health issues is severely lacking. Without thinking about it too much, we can mark this choice off. The hyphens create an awkward, stilted flow and don't work when compiling a list. This being the case, we can mark this choice off and go ahead and mark choice C as our final answer.